Hello, and welcome back to the We Don't Wanna podcast. We are your hosts. I am Zach. Joining me, as always, you may want to cover those feet up because it's my boy Scotty Westside.
I don't want to get my you just don't have open feet around me, I guess.
You can't handle it.
I can't handle it. Please don't lump me into the same boat as our guy fucking Larry.
I thought you liked Larry.
I like calling him Larry because I think that's funny. I don't
Sure.
such a fucking creep.
Yeah, he is.
I did not. I always knew and thought he was a fucking creep, but we found out truly the extent of what a creep he is tonight. Yeah, that's what we're just gonna lead off with, is Larry's creepiness, apparently.
Yeah, that is. I mean, look, it's you're a creep. I'm a creep. Larry's a creep. Like, we're all creeps, I guess.
True.
I'm not gonna yuck his yum.
We're not gonna creep shame around
We're
here.
not gonna creep shame. Yeah, if you've got a foot fet thing, then fine.
Hey.
Just maybe link up with Scotty and you
You
guys go do it.
God damn it! No, do not do that. Let's not do that. Sick socks from my girl Allison, by the way. Those are some sick. I don't know what that design
you liked those, huh?
on her sock was, but yeah, I'm
I'm
into covered feet. Like, I'm into stockinged feet. That's my kink for sure.
Did you see the Nike emblem on her
Yeah,
stockings?
she was wearing those. She was wearing those Westeros Nikes for sure.
Hell yeah, dude.
This is House of the Dragon, episode 9, the penultimate episode. I don't know what I was expecting from this episode, Zach, but I don't think it was quite this.
I think I was expecting around this.
Not to say I didn't enjoy it, because I did.
Yeah, definitely.
I liked this episode.
Then let's start by you telling me what you were expecting.
Well, I just didn't expect so much high tower infighting, I guess is the way I wanna phrase it. Like, I expected there to be, obviously, the turn and the attempting to crown Aegon king.
Right.
But what I did not expect was the majority of this episode revolved around kind of Alicent and Otto butting heads and kind of trying to...
And I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it just adds a layer.
It adds a good layer.
Yes.
Them trying to compete for Aegon's, like...
Yes.
Ear, basically.
And
or like...
It adds in a layer. It forces on you a layer that we've talked about since the beginning of this season, about how Alicent is kind of being forced into this situation, and she's just kind of doing what Dad wants her to do,
right?
And doing the best that she can, right?
And she says that as much to him, like when
she does.
When they confront
and I'm glad that it was actually a character moment between them.
Agreed.
That happened. Obviously, respecting the viewer is great, and piecing that together is great, but still having some meaningful dialogue, I think, just kind of cements that. It made for a good scene.
Well, it was a big step, and I feel like an important character moment for Alicent to just kind of acknowledge what had happened and like how she felt about it, and how she kind of wasn't gonna allow that control anymore as well.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. And it also, I feel like, because obviously this was a huge theme of this episode, we're talking about it now, even though we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. But Alicent, we've had many people out there, and I know I've seen, like, Game of Thrones and or House of the Dragon Twitter has, like, kind of blown up with how Alicent is terrible and vicious and mean. And although if these are book readers, she may become that. I don't know. But I feel like the way that the show has kind of painted this character of Alicent Hightower is that she is fierce when it comes to her children, which is great. But she's, for the most part, trying to stand up for what she believes is right.
Yes. Yeah.
And whether that's how she is in the books or not, I like this rendition of Alicent on screen quite a bit. It gives her a little more depth than just her being this usurper.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of how interesting I feel like her and her situation is. You know, is she who, you know, I don't know that I'm going to go and say I'm team green or I'm team black. I don't really feel
Well, you're
way.
literally wearing all green, by the way.
I
was going to say, I was like, Zach dressed up for the Green Council episode over here.
And you're wearing black.
This is navy blue. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, you can't really tell. But yeah, so I want to say that she's being portrayed fantastic, by the way, by Olivia Cook. But
I'm sorry, what was that name again? I didn't quite. Are you sure you got that right? I'm not sure that's right. Yeah, Elizabeth
Stone. Jesus, man,
yeah.
You're never gonna let me live that.
Never, literally never.
And she's just a little more nuanced.
Yes.
Than I feel like people are giving her credit for.
I completely agree, and because obviously, like a big sticking point between Alicent and her father is Otto's like, hey, we gotta go grab Rhaenyra and kill the shit out of her, basically, more or less. Rhaenyra, Daemon, the kids, we gotta clean house. And Alicent is like, nah, I'm not about that.
Not okay with that.
Not okay with that. That is not what Viserys would have wanted. Obviously, that is his daughter. And even though she truly believes he had that change of heart, the misunderstanding, I think I'm generally okay with how they played it. But yeah, she's just basically like, what are you crazy? That is not what he would have wanted. We can't allow this to happen. Also, shouts to my guy, Lord Commander Westerling, for being like, nah, fuck that shit. I am out.
Fuck that shit. I'm out.
Good on that, dude. Shouts to my guy, who's just got a great mustache, by the way. I don't know if we've ever called that out, but we should have.
I would grab those handlebars and sit right on that face, man.
Jesus Christ. He really took that one straight to 11. Yeah, a lot of Kingsguard in this episode too. Really, really Kingsguard heavy episode.
Yes.
But yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying about Alicent. I think she's a very interesting. Like, she's not. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you she's my favorite character in the world, but I think she is very interesting.
Definitely, and her situation is interesting.
Yes, correct.
And just like, I feel like that is what makes for a good character to watch. You know,
for sure.
I don't necessarily like. I don't know. We've said this a couple times, and I'm sorry for beating a dead horse, but just like there are so many people out there that like they want this to be like a pick a side type of thing.
Sure.
And it just isn't. It simply isn't. Not only because that's George Martin's exceptional writing, but it just when you watch television like this, you want to just be entertained by the characters, and I think that is I think the lens that both you and I. Yeah, maybe I'm speaking too much for you, but that's how we're watching this. I feel like, and that's what it is. So,
for sure,
I do have some breaking news though.
What's the breaking news, bud?
The breaking news is that Chaz thought this episode was trash.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I said, say
what?
Why?
And he says, "Well, okay, that might be an exaggeration, but this is easily the worst episode of the season."
Just
is what
not
he says.
Even. Episode 4 exists, buddy. Chaz, not to call you out live here on the podcast. That episode was trash. Maybe I'll have a change of heart when I watch the whole season again.
Sure.
But when we did that podcast, I thought that episode was garbage from the get-go. This episode was very solid and enjoyable. Like, it's not the best episode of the season, but I don't understand where he's coming
I agree,
from.
and I'm very happy that you're on the same page with me. And I'm actually bringing this up not so much to be like, Chaz, you're a fucker, but
True though.
Chaz, as everybody knows, Chaz is one of our very best friends, and he's one of the people that we love to talk about this shit with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of a little taken back, if I'm being honest.
You know what it
felt
is?
so negatively about it.
He's salty that his Dodgers lost and are out of the playoffs. he's just not in a good mood. He's not in a good mood.
Dude.
His Dodgers lost last night.
Yeah.
There was nothing was gonna please him.
Yep, that's true.
Interesting.
That's very
anyway,
true. R.I.P. Dodgers. Actually,
big
rest in not pieces.
True.
Rest in not pieces.
But also fuck the Padres also. So
I mean, yeah, but fuck them less than the Dodgers.
True. Anyway. Shouts for one thing, this episode can't be trash, because this had probably the best music of the entire season.
Dude, yes, thank you.
During that whole, like, kind of first section, the scenes, I was like, this is heavy Light of the Seven, vibes.
Yes.
I was like,
Man,
I was wondering,
beautiful.
I was like, is this going to become as iconic of a track as, like, Light of the Seven is? It didn't have, like, the crescendo. It didn't, like, build and finish to, like, the crescendo that Light of the Seven does. So I don't think it will be as memorable. But it was still very good, and the music was very good throughout.
My note was that... Actually, my note, as soon as the episode started, this piano...
Yeah.
I am fucking telling you, it has been beautiful this entire season. They have gone heavy on the piano of this, like, in this show, and I am so into it. It is gorgeous.
I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of his name, I'm sure, but Ramin Djawadi has lended so much to this
is
world.
He the composer?
And of both, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I know he did Game of Thrones, and I'm almost 100% sure he's doing this one as well. He has lended so much to this show's, like, greatness. Both versions.
Yeah.
So shouts to him. Big props.
So this episode, it is, in my opinion, it's this very tension-filled, like, kind of scramble.
Yeah, scramble's a good word for it.
And I feel like a couple episodes ago we were kind of theorizing about how this was going to feel once Viserys finally passed. And I will admit I feel like it was going to be more like messy. More messy is a terrible... I'm good at the words. Messier, I think, is what it was going to be. And I think we just haven't gotten to that
right,
yet,
I
because
think
everything's been kind of consolidated to just King's Landing.
Basically, yeah, the Red Keep, even more or less, like,
sure,
because we have not gotten, like, the reaction and fallout of, like, Rhaenyra and Daemon and what they're all gonna do. It's been basically way more contained to House Hightower and its allies, and then we get Rhaenyra's obviously a bit.
Your sentiment about it just being unexpected, not what you kind of had in mind what was going to happen. I think it was kind of a pleasant surprise.
I agree. I like the direction they took. I liked that it wasn't just, Otto and Alicent are instantly on the same page, and now here we go, let's crown Aegon, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was more nuanced and complex and more interesting than that.
Yes. Yeah. So, big fan of that. Small council scene. Man, how about this, like, everybody just taking off their masks all at the same time.
For reals. Except for R.I.P. to my guy Beesbury, the old bee, the old waspinator. He was
he's a heaping pile of beeswax on that table.
He's the guy that's just like, wait, what? You guys left me out of this plan the whole time? What the hell's going on?
Like
I don't like it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the poor dude, I mean, obviously, they were just like, yeah, like we were going to tell you anything. You're a crazy old man, basically. But Kristen Cole, you didn't have to do him like that, my guy. Like, damn.
I don't think that was the intention.
No, obviously, I don't think it was either, but...
Hey, are we ever gonna find out what those little balls are for?
I don't know, but they're cool. I want one.
They're cool. I want one.
I assume they're like the house colors. It seems like, or just like
I don't know.
A mark of station almost on the small council.
It's you get all of them together, you get one wish.
You summon Shenron if you gather them all together. I mean, they're always gathered together though.
You get them all together and you summon a Balrog.
Again, they're always together though.
No. But you put them in those little holes.
Oh God.
And you have to say the words in Elvish.
Beesbury, R.I.P. And yeah, I already said it, but shouts to my dude Westerling for, you know, what did he say? He had a great line about like, I recognize no authority but the king's, and until there is a new king, I'll have no part in this, or something to that effect. And it was real good.
You know, well, actually, maybe that I don't want to jump ahead. Okay, so music kicks in again, and it's another beautiful track.
Yep.
And I guess, to be fair, I don't know if it's the same track and it's just long.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
This was more the part I was talking about. It's like during this sequence.
So I mean, I liked it from the very very beginning. The piano was beautiful. And
there's more strings during like this section.
Right. And so it's basically like a Find Aegon. So this portion of this episode is a hunt.
The quest for Aegon, yeah.
And I will admit,
both NPCs send you on a fetch quest. They're two different people on fetch quests.
Yes, actually, we sent some NPCs on a fetch quest. Is what actually happened.
Yeah.
So I have one problem with this episode.
Okay, what's the problem?
I do not like the White Worm.
Oh my God, I didn't think you were going to go that far ahead. I was about to say I also have a problem with this episode, but I didn't think you were going to go straight to that. Okay, I'm sorry. You say we like to beat dead horses, and that's true. I am sorry to harp on this, but that is the worst acting. Just they do such a good job in this show and the other Game of Thrones shows with casting and like performances and direction, and it's just like I don't understand how this one slipped through the cracks, or like what they are doing or thinking, or if I'm taking crazy pills, because it is so distractingly terrible.
Yeah.
It is Obara Sand, but like escalated to an even extreme, way more degree.
Do you remember the movie Holes?
Yes, of course. Shia LaBeouf.
Amanda was like, yo, her accent sounds like Madame Zeroni. It's like, what?
That is so random. But I love the reference.
Yeah.
It is... Yeah, oh my God. That part of the episode, I was just
aside from her acting and
accent
voice and everything, I didn't love that. Okay, so I like the idea of her character. I guess let me say that.
I don't. It's a poor man's ripoff of Varys, and it's
sure
they even use like the whole insect thing again, though I know worms aren't. Don't at me. Spiders are arachnids. Worms, I don't even think are insects. You know what I'm fucking mean.
Okay.
I know neither of them are insects, but you know they're creepy crawly things.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Fuck off, Zach. I hate you. I literally hate you. A wriggle thing. A wriggle thing?
A wriggle.
Please don't do that, whatever you just did ever again. Anyway, continue.
I feel like this whole, like, children problem thing, which is a real problem.
Yeah, that's not okay, obviously.
It's not okay.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
This needed to have been something that was brought up, I feel like, earlier.
Came out of nowhere and was just like...
nowhere and then folded immediately.
Yeah. Yep.
Came out of nowhere, this is a problem, and then he goes, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I'll fucking give you what you're asking for. It was so bad.
This was easily the weakest and worst part of the episode.
Yes.
Was this whole. Also, quick sidebar: Kristen Cole needs to never wear a hat ever again. That hat was so dumb, and he looked so bad in that hat. Like, I love you, my dude. You're hot as hell. That hat fucking sucks.
I have done a complete. Well, we've kind of already done a 180, but like I hate Chris.
Yeah, when I say I love you, I don't actually mean I love him. He's like
he's hot, sure.
Yes, in that aspect, and I kind of enjoy like how shitty he is as a character. But yeah, listen, I'm not writing or dying for Kristen Cole like I was in like episode 1. But yeah, this and Eric, I'm just like, I don't know what their deal is.
I fucking knew. So when they both rolled out, and we realized that Eric, not Eric.
Nice. Crystal clear.
We realized that one of them is kind of in the know and one of them is not.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of your classic brothers getting split. One's gonna go one direction, one's gonna go the other direction. Then they're gonna end up fighting each other and killing each other or some shit like that. I kind of called that out, and then obviously Eric, not Eric.
Thank you.
Shows up and rescues. Yeah, dude, Jesus, it's been a night.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it has. Rhaenys. Yeah. And I was like, I fucking called it. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, they definitely fought and killed each other too. You definitely called the shit out of that.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, one of them is not gonna align or conform with kind of what they're expecting.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, this I will concede to Chaz that this section of this episode, the hunt for listen, it's a fetch quest. They all suck. Like, just that wasn't the best part of the episode.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Also, I'm not sold on almond milk like everyone else out there seems to be. Like,
interesting.
You all are just falling for the eye patch. It's literally just the eye patch.
No.
And the fact that he was in your other dumb show.
For you and Mitchell.
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 That's his. Okay. Yeah, he's all his creepy all the time. I'm just like,
the one weird. Problem I do have with him is he has a weird like.
Yeah.
Mouth.
He does a weird, like, yeah. No, 100%.
Dude, okay, but so I saw a picture of him like at an event, like obviously out of character. His face is just like that. I mean, it's fucking weird.
So why are you hating on my poor guy's face?
Well, no.
That's your guy, actually.
Well,
hold the phone.
I'm saying that, like, I was like, why is he doing that for the?
Why do you have a weird face, dude?
and then I see him out of character, and his face is still weird, and I'm like, oh shit, you got a weird face, my guy.
I kind of thought he was about to murk Aegon there for a second.
Like, I kind of thought so too.
When Kristen and Eric, not Eric, were fighting. I thought, like, and almond milk goes after Aegon. I was like, oh shit, he's just gonna kill his brother, isn't he?
I love that we're making all of these names so much easier for people.
Yeah.
Look,
listen, we got
that's
you.
That's the problem with this show is all the names.
Yeah.
Like almond milk, Eric, not Eric, and also Eric, not Eric.
Sir Olive Oil. Yeah.
Olive oil.
Not olive oil.
Crisco.
Vegetable oil. Sorry.
Yeah, Crisco, my guy.
Definitely.
Yeah, look, we'll have some more for you. I'm sure we will.
Yes. Aside from the fetch quest, I really liked the conversation between Alicent and Rhaenys. I think I always say her name wrong.
That was right.
Well, that time I did. I called her like Rhaenyra or something earlier. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, what did you call? You fucking called somebody. Vaymond? You called him like Cormond or
I don't remember. Probably
Corland.
That sounds about right.
Weirdo.
So when Alicent goes and is like, "Hey, I want your support," and Rhaenys is just like, "Screw you! I want my dragon," more or less, basically. And then she hits her with like the whole. Don't tell me you've never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne. And I was intrigued, and I wasn't quite sure how to read like Alicent's reaction to this.
I think that this was where this interaction was this kind of like dance of like, do I like you? Do I respect you?
Right.
Am I against you? Like, there's obviously a mutual respect for the two, but there was kind of some like common ground, and they were finding each other's footing, I think.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that comment is what broke it, because I don't feel like Alicent has ever pictured herself as like she's ruled because Otto has placed her there.
Right. I don't think that's her ambition.
I don't think that that's
either.
been her ambition.
It was almost like Rhaenys asking her that and questioning her that was almost like then for the first time she like almost started to imagine it. Like, well, okay, hold on.
Well, maybe, sure.
What would that be like? Not that she had done it before.
Rhaenys did have a fucking hell of a line, by the way. She said, in frustration with Alicent, she says, "You desire not to be free, but to make a window in the wall of your prison."
Yeah. That was a great line.
Fucking hell,
that
man.
That was a really good line.
Fucking hell, man.
We talked about it last week, but like any more Rhaenys that this show wants to give me is...
hey, we get a little more.
A-okay.
Later.
And boy, do we ever get a little more later.
We get a little more.
I'm trying to remember what else happens in this episode that we already kind of... I really wish you would stop that. We kind of already talked about the Alicent and Otto scene.
We need to talk about...
Yeah, what am I missing?
What the fuck is her name? What's the daughter's name? Aegon's wife.
Oh, I can never remember. I have no idea.
It's not Helena. That's one of...
Why did you think it was Helena?
Because one of them's named Helena, like one of the
Targaryens. That doesn't sound like a Targaryen name.
No, she's one of the Valerians.
Have you seen that meme, by the way, of George R.R. Martin making Targaryen names, and he reverses the D and the Aemon? Yeah, like, Daemon and Aemon. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, George. The sister, Aegon's wife, the one. Okay, so we need to talk about her for a second.
Do we? What?
Yes, we do.
What's going on with her?
So, every scene, this was pointed out. This was not my own intentional watching.
There's a demon under the floorboards or something like that.
Every scene that she's been in, she's said some weird cryptic shit, and she's essentially foretelling the story.
Sure. She has the gift of prophecy.
Yes.
That is a common, maybe not common, yes, but that is a Targaryen thing.
It's called a dragon dreamer.
Yeah. That's a common Targaryen thing.
Yes, so
again, not common, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Common.
Every one of them's got it.
Yeah, just like the Starks, they're all wargs.
Exactly.
So she, in an earlier episode, she says something about, like, so in the episode where Aemon is like, they made fun of me about the dragon, and and he's all sad about it, and Alicent's like, you'll get a dragon one day. The sister in the background says something like he'll have to close an eye.
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay, and obviously he gets his dragon, he loses an eye. She also like does this weird like black silk, green silk thing, obviously talking about like this is when they're over on Driftwood. Driftmark. That's the Driftwood throne. Driftmark.
Nice recovery there.
Yeah. She's like she's talking about some weird thing about like black silk and green silk, and essentially saying like there's this war coming between the blacks and the greens. And she does this weird thing where like she does her hands like this, and it's supposed to be like symbolic of like the hand is turning. This is the episode that Otto gets named, or Otto becomes the hand again.
Okay. Or
it's the episode prior to when we see him as a hand, or some shit, right? Look, what I'm saying is that she's
right. No, we get it. What's this? Right. What's her under the floorboards, demons, or whatever?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I wanted to ask you about, because like,
well, what did she say? Because I know I don't have it exactly right.
She says that beware the beast beneath the boards.
That's what it was.
So is she talking about Rhaenys and her dragon like bursting out from the floor?
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Is it that straightforward, or is it like a beast beneath the board? Could be like a rat, but beware the rat.
As soon as she said it, your boy Almond Milk walked in, and that was my first indication, and that's why I kind of thought that he might kill Aegon in this episode, because I was like, oh, is he kind of like the one, like the beast that's like lying, like kind of lying in wait, waiting for like his chance type of thing.
Sure. I feel like he just has so much more of a sense of duty that he's going to be pissed off and angry about it the whole time, but I think that
yeah, you're probably
I don't
right.
think his ambition like that is going to
You're probably right.
like pull him away from his duty. He seems way too like
It's got to be Rhaenys then, right?
I mean,
like,
sure.
That
like
seems appropriate.
The only thing, and kudos to Chaz here for pointing this out to us. The only thing that I keep going back to is
he's reading and watching somebody. There's no way. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you're probably right. No,
he's been on all shift exit.
he made a comment about the rats that we keep getting these shots.
Oh,
from.
right. Yeah, true.
And if that does equate to something, if that does mean something, I mean, the beast beneath the boards can absolutely be like rats.
No, that was the White Worm spies. You didn't know? That's what old Larry was talking about. They're all wargs.
Ah. Wait, are you being serious?
No, I fucking the whole White Worm thing. I hate it so much.
Dude, you just fucking yanked my dick off, bro.
Dude, I can't believe you bought that. That was so
you
stupid.
said it so confidently, you piece of shit.
I'm just
I was
that
like,
good.
okay, you obviously heard something.
The rats
I didn't.
are all the White Worm spies. They're all
I hated
Starks.
that part, so I was like, okay,
they're all
maybe
Starks. They're all wargs. They're all dreaming. Yeah.
Well, fuck me.
Sorry.
What are we doing here?
I don't
Are we
know.
even Game of Thrones experts? What's happening?
No, not this. No, this isn't Game of Thrones. This is Hot D.
True.
That's where you're confused.
So you're telling me we are Game of Thrones experts?
Listen, let's not put words. Let's not put words into my mouth. I'm the one over here every week is like, this could be Aemon the Dragon Knight, might not be. I don't know.
Aemon the Dragon Knight.
I definitely have heard of an Eric and an Eric at some point too. Could be them. I'm not sure.
Eric, but what about Eric? Not Eric.
No, Eric, not Eric though.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Get that.
Sorry, that was my mistake.
Yeah, you need to watch yourself.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is I'm definitely an expert.
Okay, here's what we actually need to talk about.
Okay.
What's up with you weirdos and your foot fetishes, man?
Why did you direct that specifically to me? I feel like that was just unprovoked and unnecessary.
I thought we established in the intro today that you're the one with the foot fetish.
Yeah, that was you just like, no, I totally got an intro, man. Scott. I got this.
Scott and I talked about this before the episode. He agreed.
Nope.
He said, you know what, man? You know, right.
You know what?
You right.
I had totally forgotten that scene even existed, and yet you come in here like, oh, I definitely have an intro. Like, I'll handle it. I got this. Like, yeah. This was the scene that I focused on, that I was paying strict attention to.
Dude, it was so like, I saw her take her take her shoes off and put her feet up, and I was like,
that's a little odd.
What? Oh, okay. That's a little weird.
I thought she was just getting comfy, you know?
Yeah, no, the way he kept like looking at her feet, I was like, oh, I think I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
And then she asked a question, and he's like,
yeah, it was at that point.
And then she takes her fucking socks off, and I'm like, dude, this episode is just doing that? What is happening here?
Yeah, man. Listen, they're like, okay, we've made the whole incest thing like way too common, and people are starting to like just accept it as like normal now. We gotta like switch tact here.
Do something else.
We gotta do something fucking weird. Again, if this is your thing about gonna kink shame, Olivia Stone has some delightful looking feet, I guess.
I knew it.
She is an.
I knew it. You knew
it. She is a very attractive lady. It's just he's a giant weirdo. Our
what
guy
really
Larry
gets me is that this conversation goes further, and he's like, "So do you want me to kill her?" she's like, I'm sure that you can do that. And he's like, if you wish.
Right.
And she's like, oh, brother. So she puts her feet up and turns her face around and lets him have a fucking wank.
Did they really have to give us the shot of him slipping his hand into his pants?
No, they did not.
We would have gotten the point. You really didn't have to give us that shot.
And then you just hear the clothes.
The rustling. Yeah. Just, no, you don't need to give us a demonstration, Zach. We get it. Yeah, Larry got my other guy killed too.
You see a fucking bottle of Jergens on the side?
Nope, just stop. Just fucking stop. I never got his name. Whoever that lord is that was trying to like escape, like bend the knee and then get out of there. But he looks like that one actor guy whose name is escaping me right now.
Man, that was really insightful.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it
up.
The one
actor guy.
That one actor guy, whose name I can never remember. I'll tell you here in a second. This is great radio. That would be John Malkovich. He looks like John Malkovich.
Who's John Malkovich?
I can't help you. Anyway.
Who is John Malkovich?
John Malkovich. Look him up.
He's look him up.
He's look him up. I'm not gonna describe John Malkovich. He's from that movie Being John Malkovich.
Oh my god.
No, I'm dead serious.
Oh, it does kind of look like him.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy has got some crazy eyes.
Yeah,
bro.
He does. John, he usually plays a somewhat crazy person. He's a good actor. Anyway, let's move on.
Is this episode?
I don't know what we're even doing here. Let's move on to the final scene. This is what we really need to talk about.
Yeah, this is okay. So Rhaenys gets rescued.
Eric, not Eric. Fucking do your job better, first of all. A little crowd comes along and suddenly you're like, oh shit!
Yeah.
My Kingsguard nightly duties, I can no longer perform them because of a crowd!
It's clear that the soft Eric, not Eric, is going to Team Rhaenyra.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this dude can't even handle a fucking crowd.
And True. And Rhaenys is too, right? Like, she's flying out to go tell them on Dragonstone. Yeah? I mean, it has to be.
I assume.
She looks... Go ahead.
Could she be going to try and rally some of her own allies and make her own move for the throne?
She could be. We did raise that at some point, the possibility of a three-way. You know, I love a good three-way.
Good old reach around. Who doesn't love a good old reach around?
I think she's just gonna, like, that's her daughters are, like, betrothed and everything. Like, if she wanted to press her claim, she would have done it in the throne room last episode, I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but that's,
No, probably not, actually.
Probably not, actually.
Blindly agreeing with what you're saying. No, she wouldn't have done that. What the hell?
The point being, I think Driftmark is gonna be on the side of Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Because who else does Rhaenyra have?
I have a sneaking suspicion that next episode or next season, there's gonna be like a recruitment episode, if you will. And I am praying to the old gods and the new that we get more houses like in the mix.
You want Stark. You can just say it.
I want Starks, Baratheons. I want the Vale.
My boy.
I want House Lannister. I mean, like, yes, we've seen them, but like, I want them in the mix.
Oh yeah, my boy, not Jason Lannister, did say the Baratheons' Storm's End could be a problem. So
yeah. So I really feel like there's gonna be like a, hey, we need to gather an army. You know, that'd be cool if we see that next episode. Although I feel like next episode's gonna be kind of a clusterfuck, but.
Rhaenys is a total badass. I think we can all agree on that. She looks cool as hell in her armor on that dragon.
How did you like the king, the ceremony, the crowning of the king?
It was cool. It looks cool.
It looks so good,
yeah,
right?
It looks. I mean,
that crown.
Listen, they've spent
looks badass.
We've said it plenty of times. The show looks incredible. I don't. Like, I don't think Rhaenys is just like cruel or like bloodthirsty enough to just like roast all of them then and there, and I think that's why she just left.
She should have done it though.
But she probably should have just roasted them all then and there.
Yeah.
If we're being totally honest, but I think she is going to be against them in the war, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and people are going to be like, well, why didn't she just do it right then and there? And yes, she probably should have. But again, I think that would have been a very cruel and like bloodthirsty, just like before even like you can declare sides and who's against who.
Right. And like if that's what wins Rhaenyra the throne,
right?
Do the people even stand behind
that?
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah. I actually I really liked the crowning ceremony.
It was good.
Mostly because when they mentioned earlier that Aegon is gonna wear
Aegon the
Conqueror's crown,
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
And it looked cool.
And it looked fucking badass.
His sword,
and also his
Blackfire looks cool.
Blackfire looks so cool, dude.
I do also appreciate the little talk that Alicent and Aegon had in the carriage. Almost like she kind of seemingly convinced him to kind of.
I feel like we're getting a little bit of personality from him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe let me rephrase that. Maybe just a little bit more understanding from him, or of him, that he's never felt loved. You know, he's never felt liked.
Not from his father.
I mean, he is a piece of shit,
yeah,
and he has some really bad interests, and
but
Eric
made sure to tell us like what a monster he is.
Yes, definitely. And like I think that it, like he is legitimately fucked up because of that.
I think that's important to point out that we were told that by someone who is very close, like has to guard him constantly. And I don't think that should just fall by the wayside, and I think that will come back around, is that Aegon is not a good person.
Right. But I think also at the end of it all too, we're gonna see we're seeing a little bit of he's been made human. I feel like he's not just this gross like piece of shit monster, which he may shape up to be that, but he has felt neglected and unloved. I feel like is what we're trying, like what
there's
the
a reason
to give us,
somewhat of a reason behind it,
right? And I feel like him getting that applause from everybody is kind of like, in my opinion, it gave me very Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator.
Yeah.
It definitely kind of felt like that to me, where he's like he's gonna cherish feeling this like love from his people, but he's gonna go about it the wrong way.
I feel like at the end of the day, like he is still a piece of shit, and not a good person, and you know there are reasons behind that. Obviously, if he felt like neglected and unloved, and like, you know, like felt like maybe he deserved the crown but wasn't gonna get it. But again, I just want to stress, like, I think it is important that Eric told us, the audience, hey, he's a monster. He's awful.
Yes.
So, which is why, you know, in the end, he probably decided to go the way of Rhaenyra. Anything else? Anything else we need to talk about? Or?
Nah, I mean, just you mentioned it quickly in passing, and we just need to bring attention to this one more time. Just Rhaenys in her armor.
She's a badass, dude.
You are a badass. You look like a badass. Yeah. You perform like a badass. I am so excited to see more of her.
What was your dragon's name? Do you remember? The dragon looks cool too.
Don't remember, honestly.
That dragon looked.
One of them is Sunfire. I think that's one of the kids' dragons.
Nah, not that one. That dragon looked mean. Like, we've got the huge ancient ass looking one. We've got my favorite long boy, but this one just looked like it wanted to tear a hole through a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The dragon's name is Meleys. Meleys.
Okay.
Meleys. I don't know.
I remember her saying
Neely's-
it, but I don't remember how she pronounced it.
Yeah, anyway, she's a badass. That was the highlight of the episode for me. Definitely left me at the end of this feeling like, ooh, I'm excited for what's going to happen next episode.
For sure. Who do you think won the episode? I know who I think.
That's a tough one for me, man. I feel like it can, for me, it's either Alicent or Rhaenys.
I think it's Alicent.
Okay. I will agree since we both feel strongly about her.
I think Rhaenys had a couple moments, but overall, I feel like Alicent, getting control of Aegon isn't the right way to say it. Not what I want to say, but like kind of like winning that little battle against her father and then confronting her father and kind of even like confronting the idea and emotion of like her being the pawn in his game for so long. Her having that kind of, I feel like good moments with her son in the carriage. I feel like she definitely won this episode.
Yeah, I agree. And also like performance wise, she did fantastic.
She was great.
Olivia Cook has done fantastic with her since she's had her. This is no exception.
Yep.
And also the strides that she makes as a character, not just as an actress, are great. So yeah, I think for that reason she wins the episode. What do you rate this episode?
That's tough. I feel like I really enjoyed it while we were watching it. Talking about it, I do feel like I had a few more problems than I realized. But overall, I think it was very solid. I'm going to give it a 7.25.
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to give it, I think I'm going to give it like a 7 3/4, maybe even an 8.
I'm going to give it a 7 6/10.
7.75. I think it's kind of like what I'm leaning towards, like 7.5, a little closer to 7 or a little closer to 8. Okay. Is kind of where I'm feeling. Yeah, we obviously we want to know what you guys all think. I saw that on IMDb it had been rated extremely high, and like I don't
really
necessarily care.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's spot on, and sometimes I don't. I mean, sometimes it's just bullshit. But
I'm always curious to gauge, like, I will go into work tomorrow and talk with my coworkers and see where everyone is.
Yeah.
It's always interesting because there are some wild. There was one of my coworkers after the end of the episode, the ball where the fight breaks out. Yeah, the big brawl at the ball. One of my coworkers did not like that episode at all, which was absolutely stunning and wild to me.
Wow.
So it's always so much fun. I never know what to expect.
Best episode of the season.
Arguably, yes.
I mean, I think last episode takes it.
I think it's top. I think the 3 best for me, but again, before I've rewatched, is last episode, that one, the ball brawl, and I truly did love the hunt episode. I know you weren't as high on that one, but
interesting. Okay.
Anyway, it's always just fun and interesting to see how other people react, and yeah, let us know what you think in comments, the Discord, hit us up. You know what to do. Because it is fun to get everyone's different takes and reactions too. So
sounds good.
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook @We Don't Want a Pod. Shoot us a DM or an email if you guys want to get into the Discord. We'll send you a link, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.